5 years or actually so much. But we all. How's your weekend? Good. How's yours? Oh, are you sick? I have a cough. Okay. I know it's wrong to get down or something. Yeah, I saw. Yeah, I do. Yeah, it's really bad. What happened? I feel like. What are you doing? I was. Yeah. That's the reason. I will. Yeah, both are. Yeah, how was it? It's okay. Maybe like, yeah, it's not funny surgery, but you get a cool scar. You have a scar? Yeah. I oh my god. I had like open like so that you have to know about it.
Yeah.
Like make like think of a project and yeah. Yeah. I'm very helpful for like for myself. Yeah. I think it's a lot of fun. I like this guy. It's fun though. I can't believe it. So I'm thinking like, yeah, I think that's wrong. But help. The time to travel. Oh, no, more so. Like another? No, like oh, she does afterwards. Yeah. Yeah, got it. Alan was there for that. Because then before that, there was another guy. Yeah. So he's been on. I think he's because I asked if I could be the assignment and I have now. So he's basically the UG. Oh,
Manage your safety in the center.
I would say Alan did his best. He tried to answer my question. He really didn't. And some just like the other. But he's like kind of like he was like out of there. I think like I think that was multiple times from Campbell in the territory.
Thanks, Bonnie.
He built an instrument and
Oh, yes, I'm ready. To be enough. Yeah.
Yeah, we actually, you guys want to find we just went to
Yeah,
okay, yeah. And then we I put my group for a final project. No, like promise. Yeah, we went to your what's called okay, 5 rock. We used template from like so a lot of people would build this like but then we had to actually figure out how to pass it forward. That was our basically our market. There's no spectrum, no light. Then we tested all this looking out for what? And then we had like very sweet, very long little thing, and like focus the light, and then we got like a spectrum. We didn't get any lines though. We just got like the thing. It was like we had like a spectrum of like 800. It was really bad, but it worked. It worked. Yeah, we were like. What did you do for your conference? Oh, we did for Saturday. Okay. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Some of it was very new. They like tracked it. They like figure out the rating block. Oh wait. Yeah, no, it's Saturday. Yeah, we did that. Like it was only like the end of the week. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I mean like yeah, because we had a choice to do like analysis or build something. Yeah. And it was like I don't want to do it. Oh yeah. We got all the fancy equipment because that's gonna have so loud. Actually, I don't think we have that on because I'm so much. Okay. All right, we're gonna get started. So this is day 2 of GitHub, and this is the last day of what we'll, I guess, call like introductory lectures. Close this. After this, once we're done setting up all this, I guess, environment stuff, like how to basically interact with your code, we are then going to actually jump into Python and actually start learning the foundations of that language. So that'll be on Thursday. And I will no longer be teaching you. So you're done listening to my voice for a while. One of the other instructors, we're now going to start switching off. I think it's Pranathy on Thursday, but Pranathy might be sick. Actually, I don't know who it is on Thursday. It's Katie. Oh, it's Katie. Okay, so you'll have a different instructor. It won't be me. But that's okay because it's good to get a variety of teaching styles. But yeah, so we're going to finish up today with GitHub. Charlie asked if I could share this announcement. I actually didn't read it, but essentially on Thursday at 12 p.m., if you're interested in getting into research and you would like a outlet for just getting some more information, there's this UC Leeds research program info session. I was asked to plug this, so if you would like to take part in that, go ahead. I have not uploaded this slide to B courses, but I'll upload it after today's lecture. So yeah, feel free. Always good to get into research. And if you have any questions about how to get into research, you can always come up and talk to one of us or come to office hours. We are more than happy to help. Okay, so this is the overview for today. We're going to do a quick warm-up. Then I'm going to do a little bit of GitHub review, just walk through what we did last time. And then we're going to jump straight into demo time, and we're just going to keep practicing GitHub terminal and then just learn a couple of new things. And yeah, so with the people around you, can you please talk about these 3 questions?
What's the difference between a Git and a Git? Yeah, I love that. Right. I get it. Yeah. Still want Git is why we basically about one and I think I forgot. I'm not sure. Last week. But I knew there were like, I think there's like, and then it does say from your repository. Like, that means like getting like from the internet to you. You know, yeah. Oh. Yeah. I think usually they try to keep it up. Yeah, but this is like the only one I could go to because I was teaching that one. Saturday, yeah. Yeah, like planned it before the school. Before the semester. I don't think it has more. But yeah, hopefully they'll have it. Or just be announcing it.
Okay, cool. I hear us. I hear
Yeah, no.
it getting quieter. Okay. Who can answer the first question? What's the difference between Git and GitHub?
Git is where you save your like version history, and then GitHub is where you can push that version history to.
Perfect. Yep, that's a great explanation. So Git is essentially a software that lets you track changes in your code, but you have to do it manually. It will not track it for you. And then GitHub is basically storing all of that on the internet for other people to look at, or for you to look at other people's code. Okay, what's the difference between a local and a remote repository? Yeah. Yep, perfect. So, yep, local to you on your computer. I actually have a typo here, and this one should be the other way around. But yeah, so local is on your personal device. So basically, Maham's computer is local, and then the internet is remote. Okay, and then what are the 3 commands that allow you to push your code from your local to your remote repository? Yeah.
Git add, git commit.
Perfect. Yep. So those are the 3 commands that you should take away. We take nothing else away from these last like 2 weeks. Git add, git commit, git push. It will save you tons of time. Just to remember those 3 and any additional little flags you need to add. Okay. Are there any questions about these questions? Yes.
Real quick, how do we get things off of GitHub again?
We will go over that today. Are there any other questions about these topics? Cool. All right, we're going to keep going. I'm just going to talk through just a little bit of GitHub review. I'm just going to lecture you for like just a few minutes, just so we can familiarize ourselves with what exactly we're doing. So this is the little diagram I made. So working directory, when I open up my terminal and it has the command line on it, that is where my working directory is. Staging area. So once I call git add, I'm adding any files, files, directories, folders, or data. I'm adding it to my staging area. Then from my staging area, I will tell Git to basically save everything in that area with a message. We practiced this last time, but we will do it again today. And then from your local repository, all of this is on your computer, your personal laptop. Then git push is what puts it on the internet. So this is git, those 2 commands, and then GitHub is this last one. Cool. All right, so that was part of the question from warm up. This is the other little diagram that I made. So your computer, local repository, you call git push, and it puts it onto GitHub, and you can now access it on the internet. Whereas if you want to get stuff from the internet to your computer, you call git pull. This is also backwards. This should be remote. This should be local. I think I still get them confused sometimes. And I've been doing this for like 3 years. So yeah, local, remote. Cool. Okay. Last slide, and then we'll jump into actually doing it ourselves. This is a lot of text. Sorry, but this is just so it's all in one spot. This is also wrong. I'm so sorry. I made so many typos in these slides. It's probably confusing. Okay, local is on your computer. Remote is on the internet. Clone, that's what we did last time. So that basically means you do not have the repository on your computer. That folder is not on your computer. Cloning allows you to take it from the internet and put it on your computer. That's what cloning does. Pulling, we will practice this today. We did not do this last time. Pulling basically allows you to update that folder. So how I like to think of it, if you download Minecraft onto your computer, that is essentially cloning. Then pulling would be doing any additional updates that like the software producers put out onto the internet. So that's essentially what cloning and pulling does. So you can think of pulling as basically another download. Adding, committing, and pushing. So adds to the staging area. We covered that in the last slide. Committing saves it with a message. Oh, look, I got it right there. And then pushing is basically putting it onto the internet. Okay. Any questions? Thumbs up, thumbs middle, thumbs down on how we're feeling about GitHub, Git, terminal, just in general. Okay, I see mainly thumbs up. That's good. But if you're still confused, that's totally okay. Git is really weird. Okay. Now it's demo time. So can you please open up your computers and open up a terminal? All right, so now that we've had some practice with the terminal for a couple days, I'm going to go into a bit more detail about some specific vocabulary that you might find on your homework or on the checkoff. So this little symbol right here, can everyone see that little squiggly line? Yeah? So that means you're in your home directory. So basically that's the default. When you just open up your terminal, it just plops you into your home directory. There's actually a way to go in and into your settings and change where that exact location is. But typically it's like when you open up your GUI and you have like desktop downloads, movies, whatever, same location. So that's what the little curly bracket means. Okay. So if I'm in my home directory, how can I get into Python decal from here?
CD or like the directory.
Yeah, so what should I do first?
LS.
Yeah, because maybe we don't know where we are. So that's a good idea. Okay. So looks like Python decal is accessible from this directory. So we can, how do we go into Python decal? I think someone already said it. We can say it again. How do I move into a different directory? Good. So I'm going to call CD, then I'm going to call Python decal. Cool. So now, my little curly bracket, I'm no longer in my home directory. I am now in a new folder called Python decal. And I did that by calling CD or change directory, then the name of my new location that I would like to go to. Okay. Now, I'm going to see what's inside of Python decal. So I'm going to call ls again. And it tells me that I have these 4 things inside. So I have Brianna decal, I have Brianna repo, I have test.py, and test.txt. Okay, which of these can I manipulate and which of these can I basically not manipulate? Which one of these belongs to me?
Repo.
Well, pretend I'm you. Pretend this has your name on one of them. Yes. So this should say your name. This is kind of confusing because it's from my perspective. But this should say your name. So let's pretend we're on Maham's computer. This would say Maham decal Brianna repo. So the one with your name means you can edit it. If it has my name on it, that means you cannot edit it. Okay, we cool? Is that tracking? Okay. If I ever need to like re-explain it, just tell me and I'll just talk about it again. Okay, so. All right, so we cloned Brianna repo last time. This time we're going to pull from Brianna repo, meaning we're going to update it. So I have changed it on my end. So on your end, well, I guess I haven't changed it here either. But how can I enter Brianna repo? It's the same command we just called.
CD.
Yes, thank you. Okay, the sooner you answer my questions, the faster this goes. Okay, now I'm going to call ls again, and I should only have one file. That is what we cloned last time. Now I'm going to update my repository. So I'm going to call git pull origin main. So I'm telling my computer, here, we'll run it, and then I'll talk. Okay, that was a lot of text, but I'm just going to talk about what we just did. Okay, so inside of the repository, I told my command line, okay, computer, use git, go onto the internet, check for any updates, pull them from the internet, meaning take them from the internet, put it on my computer, from the place called main. I'm not going to really explain the difference between main, because this can take other names. Yours might be master. That's called branching. That is a whole nother topic. We're not going to cover that in this class. If people are interested, I could host like a bonus lecture, but it's really not needed. A lot of people have never even branched while here at Berkeley, so it's really not that necessary. Okay, so I'm not going to read all of this text. You can read it on your own time, but essentially, I see this brand new thing. Can someone tell me what this says?
One file change.
Yes, cool, thank you. So now I see this new folder called homework 2, and I see this new file in there called homework2.py. So we have some new things that we can look at. So I'm going to call ls, and now I have a new folder. How do I know that homework 2 is a folder and not a file? Good, yeah, it's as simple as that. So a file will have typically a dot extension, basically telling you what kind of thing it is. So in this case, that's a Python file. Okay, how can I access homework 2?
CD.
Yes, thank you. What do I call?
CD homework 2.
Yep, homework 2. Cool. Now how do I see what's inside? Thank you. ls. Yay, okay, new folder. Now we have homework2.py. All right, can I edit this file? Yes or no? You mean thumbs up if you think yes, thumbs down if you think no. The answer is technically yes, but you want to say no. So I can edit this file, but that is not going to change it when it's on the internet. Only Brianna Repo can do that, which is technically this computer, but I never linked them. So technically I still can't even do it on this computer. I have to do it on the internet. So in order to make changes to this file, we want to move it to a different location. So we want to move it to your name decal, because that's the repository that you're going to submit to Gradescope. Does that make sense? Thumbs up, thumbs down if that makes sense. This is a confusing topic. Okay, so yes, you can edit this, but when I ask you to then turn in your homework, you only can turn in repositories that you have made. So you didn't make Brianna decal or Brianna repo, so you won't be able to turn that in. Does that make sense? Cool, okay. Alrighty, what command can I call to copy a folder or file? We have not used this command yet.
CP.
Good, yeah, so it's on the slides. But first, because I want to copy the whole folder, because sometimes folders will have a lot of stuff in them, I am going to jump to my parent directory. So what that means is I'm going to call cd, then I'm going to call ... and then I'm going to hit enter. Okay, so I'm going to call ls again, and then I'm going to talk. Okay, so homework 2 lives inside of Brianna Repo. Brianna Repo is the parent directory to homework 2. So homework 2 is a child directory inside of Brianna Repo. So that's just some vocab. So if you hear that flying around at any point, that's what it means. So ... basically allows you to jump up to your parent directory. Okay, so now I'm going to copy over homework 2. So you can follow along. We're going to call CP. Then, because it's a folder, I have to add a flag -r, which basically means I want to grab everything inside of the folder. If you just were to call CP and then the folder, you would get an error because it's like, it's not a file, and it gets confused. Cool. Now I am going to put the location of my current working, or of the folder I want to copy. The location of the folder I want to copy. Sorry. So I'm going to call homework 2. Homework 2. Okay. Then I'm going to put in the location of where I want it to go. Does anyone have a guess at what that would be? Technically, that's where we want to end up. But if I was to call Brianna decal right here, is there a Brianna decal inside of Brianna repo? No.
So Brianna repo, is that where you are?
Not quite, but we're on the right track. We definitely need Brianna decal in there because that's where we want it to be. But Brianna decal doesn't live right here. So if I was to call Brianna decal, it'd throw an error because it's like, it doesn't exist. Does that make sense? Okay. So how do I get to Brianna decal from Brianna repo? Or in your case, Brianna repo to your name. Yeah.
Do we just put in the full directory?
Like the whole path?
Yeah, the whole path.
You could, yes, but there's a shortcut. It's okay, I'm being mean. You probably don't know. Okay, I'll just tell you. But yeah, that is one way to do it. This is essentially what we're going to do. So I'm going to call dot to jump up to, then I'm going to jump up to Python decal. Then I'm going to tell it okay, and then go into Brianna decal. So yours in turn should say like Maham decal. I'm just going to use you as an example. Okay. So, all right. So we good? Cool. So I'm going to hit enter. If I call ls, will my homework 2 folder still be there? Yes, because copying is a copy. We're making a duplicate. If I was to call mv instead of cp, I would move the entire thing. But we called cp. Okay. So now there are things called absolute paths and relative paths. So I can make a relative path to Brianna decal. By doing that, I can call dot, then I can put in Brianna decal. So a relative path is basically telling your computer to get you a location from anywhere on your computer. Whereas an absolute path is the path going from your home directory. Does that make sense? Or do you want me to draw it out? I'll walk through it again later. But right after we copy this, or we go check. So I'm going to move into Brianna decal. Okay. Then I'm going to call ls, and boom, there's homework 2 and your mom. That's what you should have. Cool. Okay, so now there's this fancy little command. If I call cd, that is going to, with nothing after it, that's going to return me to my home squiggly line directory. So that's a little shortcut. I think that is one of your homework questions. So that is how you get to your home directory. You just call cd. So if you're like deep inside of your folder and file system and you're kind of confused on where you are, you can either call pwd or you can just jump straight to your home directory. Yeah.
Same permission.
To copy it?
The dot.
Okay. You might be in the wrong thing. I don't know. I didn't take a look. Okay, is anyone else running into an error? Cool. All right. So basically, an absolute path were to be, okay, just to try and reinforce this a little bit more. From Brianna repo, we got to Brianna decal by writing in relative path. So this path was relative to where Brianna repo was. But if I want to write an absolute path, I can call, I'm technically already in my home directory, but I can call cd, and then I can call squiggly line, implying that I want to be from home. Then I can call Python decal. And then I can call Brianna decal. If I can type correctly. Okay. So I can write another absolute path by calling CD, squiggly line. Then instead of going into Brianna decal, I can go into Brianna repo. Cool. So that's the difference between an absolute path and a relative path. They both have their different purposes. I'm typically in favor of relative paths. But if you have no idea where you exist relative to where that folder is, then sometimes it's helpful to write it from your home directory. Okay, are there any questions so far about what we've done? Yes.
Why the squiggle?
That's just the default. That's what it's called. Don't know? Cool. All right. Okay, so now we're going to practice pushing our homework. So I'm going to go back to Brianna decal. And how can I do it from Brianna repo? I'll repeat the question. Okay, so we're in Brianna repo. But in order to do my homework, I need to be inside of Brianna decal. So how do I get there? Yeah, you just say it. Perfect, yep. So I'm going to call cd ... and then the location of where I want to go. Okay. So if you were to go onto the internet and look at your repository, I might be able to actually do that. I don't know if we did this last time. Brianna decal. Okay. Cool. So if I bring this over, this is my remote repository. I only have this file. But I'm like, wait, that's not true. I also have homework too. I'm gonna ask a question. Why is that? Yes.
You haven't pushed it onto GitHub yet.
Good. So sorry if some of you that might have been a silly question, but yes. So this is the reason we have it on our remote repository. So our local computer can see it, but not the internet. Okay, so how do I get it from my computer onto the internet? That's one of the commands, yes. Good. But we need to call something before that. Yep, git add. Okay, so git add. And then I can call homework too. You can either do a period or you can tell it the folder that you want to push. But in this case, I'll just say the folder. Okay, what's next? Yep, git commit. And we always have to write a message. So I'm going to say adding homework to folder. Cool. All right. So Git just told me that I have made these changes, and now Git on my local computer has saved it. Okay. Now I can call Git, and then what do I call? You said it. Yep. Git push, and then either origin main or master, depending on which one it is. I see a question. You have an error?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you also getting an error? Okay. What is the error you're getting?
We might have like changed it to the different. Yeah. We might have changed saved it to the wrong spot. But instead of you can follow along over here.
Okay. I'll take a quick second. I'll try to Is anyone else running into an error?
Just gonna scroll.
Sure is.
Oh, you're fine. That's not an error message.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, do you have one more time? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, so at the end, we're in. It's in my one.
Very careful. So she'd be awesome.
And then
Yeah.
you can do get okay. Oh. Did you clone Brianna Repo? Okay, go into this. Is it in the side market? Yeah.
I think it's real. Yeah.
Okay, nothing to do with it. So now
We need to like.
you want to just
And then.
over
Fine.
to
No.
Yeah.
you like locally you have to go to.
No, I think the international. I do that way when it's not.
in GitHub.
Think so. It goes to.
Which is like the cloud edition. But to do that, you're gonna have to have public source, and I just add public source. And then now you're gonna get this minus one,
Do you need
and
them?
then write your message. Your commit message.
I'm just gonna move them up.
Yeah, and then quotation mark, and then click adding in the source.
Okay.
Oh, now you're gonna push it. Yeah, push. Yeah, you can say it like. Cool, you don't, just copy this, get like where you have to.
I like, what I like about Ordell is that she has words to her notes, so it's not just like notification, notifications. There's like content. Yeah, I was turned that on video. Yeah.
Just write this push, just like write, whatever, yeah, and then we'll keep you.
Yeah.
I mean, May.
Yes.
I ended up deciding to take 89 over the summer. So, yeah.
I can figure it out here on my.
I think 89 was a rough post for
I think, yeah, we're trying to move them. Like,
You got an error?
current. Basic current.
Yeah, 89 there was so much content. It's out of it. It's like, you didn't have a lot of time to answer questions.
You can go check on your GitHub.com. So, if you follow along.
I won't be able to figure out here, but you can post on edit.
She posted some of those for are you the nationals?
Yeah, it's not like.
Are you like using?
Like everything. Or you can post on.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
Okay, good, sure. Right now.
Yes.
Okay.
So I tried following, to this, and I couldn't follow along, but I think the homework, and we might have seen the homework too, somewhere else.
Oh, it's like some 15 minutes after.
So yeah, I think she. It's really like, it's 45 minutes with a good pull.
We're gonna finish up the lecture. Okay, so I'm going to finish this by pushing. So I'm going to type in my password. Cool. Okay, so now if I call git status, it will tell me that I have nothing to commit and the both of my repositories should match. So now if I go back to the internet, and I refresh, I will now have homework 2. Okay, so for your homework, I'm going to put back up my slides. Okay, so for your homework, you're going to have to make GitHub work. And if it's not working for you right now, you will have to go to office hours. I'm so sorry. Or you can come up to me in these last like 10 minutes and we'll try and figure it out. But essentially, on Gradescope, that's where you turned in your first homework, or you will, it's due tonight. You will only have the option to submit via GitHub. So you will have to move it from your personal laptop to the internet in order to turn in your homework. Okay, so you're going to connect your GitHub. It's going to ask you for a repository, and you're going to pick your name decal, and then you should only have a main or master branch. So that's the one you're going to pick. Then you will upload it. That is how we will see your homework. If you do not upload it to Gradescope, I will not see it. You can't just push it to the internet. Okay, so how do we edit our homework? That's one way, but what's another way?
VS Code.
Yes. So last time, do you want me to show you VS Code? Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to walk you through the steps. So, to edit your homework, you're going to, I think I have to open VS Code. Okay. Just give it a second. Okay.
Hold on.
Okay, so here's VS Code. So I'm going to call open folder. And then I'm going to, here's Brianna decal. And then I'm going to open up homework 2 and homework2.py. I'm going to open that. Cool. And now I have, okay, now I have this new Python folder. Eventually, starting next lecture, you'll actually be doing Python. But for now, once again, it's comments. You're going to answer these questions. Then once you're done, you're going to go back to your command line and you're going to call git add, git commit, git push to put it on the internet. Then from the internet, you're going to upload it to Gradescope. Okay, so in other words, we are going to go back to the internet and I'm going to go to B courses. Okay, so this is what it should look like from your point of view. I'm going to go to files. And then there will, under homework, there will be a homework 2. this has the same instructions that I just spoke like word vomit to you. So if that was too much, you can read it all here. This was step 1, cloning. You don't need to do that if you've been in class and following along. This is what we just did together. So look, you're already 2/3 done with your homework. And then 3 is essentially telling you what you need to do after you answer the questions that we found in the file. Okay. Thumbs up, thumbs middle, thumbs down for how we're feeling. Can I get responses so I can see? Thumbs down. Okay, see thumbs up over there. Cool. What's your question?
I'm just having trouble.
Trouble. Okay, I can help you. All right. With that, I'm just gonna say class is over. If you have questions, please come up or have a walk around. This will just be like mini office hours. Okay. Oh, wait, before you do that, there's a checkoff for this basically environmental thing. It's a B course quizzes. So please be sure to fill that out as soon as possible so you don't forget about it. Okay, that's it.
One, we're still just turning it into normal way.
Yeah, normal way.
Got it over.
Cool.
The thing that it's like 6 different office hours.
Yeah, we have a lot of them.
Well, stop. My other classes, I can't make it to any of them. So it's one of them.